to use this walking violently concept, right? So try this first and then figure out how you're going to do it with that. The initial motion that I want you to get down, first of all, from a full step. So you've got the ideal range. You wouldn't have the ideal range, do you understand? You'd be lucky if it's here. Might even be here, but you want to get the movement. If I was to walk into him, that would look like that. If I was to walk into him violently, I would raise my neck, drive my knee into his groin as I walk in. Do you understand? So this concept here of literally walking into him with a knee is called walking violently. And you're kneeing the fork of the legs, the testicles, the balls, that's what you're going for. Also the bladder and the pubic bone. I'm looking to smash the point of my knee through that and replace your footsteps. Right? So first I want you to get that. So I want you to yield with that pad. So take a full step from here. Stay offline. So not nose to nose. I'm offline, so his nose is to my shoulder. Which means now if my foot comes forward, or my knee comes up, or my hand comes forward, I know where his groin is. But it also means that when I hit the groin and his body or head projects forward, I'm not going to get head butted. So if I need him here, I get head butted. If I stay to the flank, then I'm not. So first thing I want you to do is just walk and knee as you step. So you are literally here, boom, and step. Yeah, driving in. So you want to walk, yeah, violently in. Right, let's get this forward. So you're not kneeing upward. Not kneeing upward. You're kneeing forward. So the only time that I would knee upward is if he was already inclined. So if I had from here, let's say, hit the groin and he's inclined over. Now I'd knee upward into the chest cavity or upward into the face. But if he's vertical plane and I knee upward, I can miss. So I need to go forward. Do you understand? So you are walking here, violently forward and through the groin. So be aware of what's behind you, because he's going to knock you back. So when he needs you, you want to yield. Understand? Where you should end is with your feet past where his feet currently are, and him backward. Do you understand? Yeah. Replace your footstep with his footstep, or his footstep, replace it with yours. Right. Yes? So walking violently could be done just like that. So if somebody's posturing up to you, puffing up, giving it large, pointing, beckoning, say, come on, you can't just fucking have it, this kind of bollocks in front of you. Understand that that's just a threat display. And it's designed to make you shit yourself, so that you don't or can't do anything about it. And if that's recognisable in your facial body language, when you go like this, you're giving the message that this bluster is scaring you. In which case, this person may or may not, probably will, escalate to the violence. Because when somebody's giving it this in front of you, it's an interview. It's designed to make you shit yourself, and it's to see what you're made of. So I want to see him go, but if I see him go, fucking bring it. It's giving a very different message, isn't it? So this threat display is very open. Chest up, head up, exposing the throat. Feet very wide, exposing the groin. So this is Christmas. Whereas my posture is here, bladed, tucked, chinned up, hands up, saying I don't want no trouble. And it's from here that I just walk through here without attachment. Yes? That's what you just did. Now I want to work it with attachment. What you're going to do, now you're going to work off your lead foot, right? In this case, your left foot. I'm going to attach with one arm here. So this would be a hit, this would be a hit, hit. And I will bring his face into here. What I'm doing is half necktie. That's what I'm doing. This would be a full necktie. I am half necktie. Yeah? And as I half necktie, I will walk in. Yeah? Again, from here. Dips. From here, my easiest follow-up is just to pivot and put in this elbow. The first one I want is a knee. So I'm going to knee as I necktie. My next target's here. So I want to do that. Boom. So I think that you should do that, which gives you this, doesn't it? Yes? Right, so here's what you're doing. First count. Use 2 pads now. Put them here. You're going to walk in with your lead knee. Lead knee. Left, and your left hand here, your non-dominant side. And then you are going to pivot and put in 2 shots till the man's down. here, here, and the application is in front, posturing up, and I just go here, then I go here. Understand? You work this?
I might transition from his head to the pad. It's up to you. Okay, I don't really care as long as you're hitting this hard. Okay, so some of you might be here, yeah, or once you've done this and you're here, you might just transition to that. Don't care, just hit the pad with the elbow. Go!
One knee still. So this, what I'm selling you is the knee to the groin, to the midsection. But think of the knee of the groin as rather than a knee in the nuts. Think it as a wrecking ball smashing through the pelvis. Imagine that. Picture that analogy there. Big fucking wrecking ball swinging on a crane, smashing down a building. That's what it is, right? So it's the walking through him part is what I want you to get. Yeah? So we just did that walking in. Then we did it off the lead, capturing the head. You could also do it literally from here, put into a side clinch. So I'm going to the side or apex of his neck and shoulder. So this area here. And I'm going to drive my forearm in as a shot. And then when I knee him, I'm going to back him down. So this is a shot and this is a shot. As I walk violently through. This is the one that usually takes out the base. Yeah? Just want you to have about 3 goes. Left and right. So you know what the fuck you're doing. So what I want you to do literally, put your right forearm into this side of his neck as you walk through. And keeping the neck down here because your follow-up would be immediate if he wasn't immediately down. Do you understand? So you're going to go walk violently, side clinch. 3, through somebody with a knee. So if I'm walking through you with a low line stimulus, I'm going to smash out what I hit, which means I'm targeting your base. The idea would be your groin. The objective mentally would be for me to put your testicles right up into your tonsils. I want to do it that violently, that much intent. But if I don't hit the groin because you turn, I'll get the peroneal side of your thigh and I'll smash base out from there. Or if you turn this way, I'll get the inside of your thigh, femoral side. Both will buckle your mobility, which means you can no longer stand. If you can no longer stand, you can no longer momentarily fight, right? Another good target is the pelvis, particularly where your belt, just below your belt, where you feel here, and you've got that pubic bone structure. You smash your knee through that and that fragments, it's going to puncture the bladder. It's going to be in a world of fucking hurt. It will blast the base out. The only thing I want you to get is this is how we blast the base out. That's the point of that, not the knee itself, right? And the reason that I needed to give you that is because that's going to be your offensive or counter-offensive part of dealing with the knife. So last week we got as far as blade fending the stab, and we looked at creating a structure where 1 foot's forward, 1 foot back, you're square, your hips are square, your shoulders are square, you're tucking in your pelvis, you're dropping your chin so not to expose your neck, and you're presenting this cage structure offering the back side of your limbs, not the front inside, the back side of your arms. And what I'm protecting is my neck and this vital square which houses my heart and my lungs. So this structure here, and what we're working off the context of is that this subject's pulled a weapon, he's pulled a knife. Now understand, if he's a seasoned criminal worth his salt, he won't show me the knife. He'll stab me out of ambush, which means he'll sneak up and he'll fucking stab me, in which case now I've been stabbed, and if I get the opportunity to fight back, I'm dying as I do so. So understand, without a shadow of a doubt, there is no guarantees to dealing with a knife. None. And you engage in a blade conflict, there's a good chance you're going to get cut. The objective is that you don't get cut lethally. So what will constitute lethally will be a stab in the neck or anywhere in this vital square. This should be protected. But I could get slashed in the face. I could get my arm cut right through so my extensor tendons don't work anymore, but I'll live. So the objective will be damage limitation until I'm in a position where I can take this cunt off the planet. And I mean literally a level 10 use of force to end him if necessary, because he's just offered me lethal force. And then I need to be able to get myself medical attention. That's the best you can hope for, right? And that comes from a lot of research and fucking 6 live knife experiences where, you know, I've still carried the scars. So I know this dynamic. If somebody stabs you out of an ambush and you don't see it coming, you get stabbed. What happens next depends on where you've been stabbed, how badly you're hurt, and how quickly, if or not, you can get over the shock psychologically and get back in the fight. Because bearing in mind, he's not just going to stab you immediately, he's going to stab you full back and stab you like a fucking sewing machine. So it's really in your interest to be able to fend off or stop the very first stab and attack immediately. Does that make sense? So what we looked at was this blade fend structure. So everyone adopts it now. Left foot forward, right foot back. You want your foot up, you want to start your block. You're about to fire forward. You want nose over toes, and most importantly, you want to stay square. You need to get your feet wider. They're so narrow, you've got no base. You want a base, at least the width of your shoulders, right? This structure is what you would implement if somebody was going to slash, you'd bend this way, or you jam. So if he was going to slash me, I want to bend inside. If it was a backhanded slash, I'd bend here. And when it's a stab, I want to jam it. What we're focusing on is the stab to the midsection. So we want to pike our hips back like we are hollowing out as we drive this structure downward. Remember we did this last week? Yeah? So the first thing you're going to get to want to do is fend the line. Fend the line. Fend the line. Fend the line. And this will suck on the forearms. So we're only going to do a few. Understand? It's what we do with the knife is to shut him down. It's counterintuitive if he stabs me to come forward. It's counterintuitive to do that because I want to move back. So to drill it into you, if I put you to a wall structure, you can't go any way but that way. Does that make sense? The first thing I need to do is stop the stab. You can stop with one arm jamming, or the other arm, or both. But in all cases, fend with the back of your forearms and not the inside. And don't cross your hands, just make this perpendicular structure. Do it now. Make this cage. It's this cage structure that the forearm is going to jam into, attacking the radial structure of the hand and prevent the stab. Yes? Look at the trajectory of the stab. Coming straight and pumping. Boom, it's coming in. So when this structure comes down, it's jamming it here momentarily. Understand that this is coming back under retraction really quite quickly before it comes in again. My objective is that I clear it. And whether I rack this arm or not, that would be nice. From here, I just walk through with that knee. So instantly after his first stab, he's giving pain, blunt trauma to the forearm radial side, because he's not successfully stabbing me. And then he's getting his testicles and his tonsils. Do you understand? I'm not staying here to try to keep stopping this, because eventually he'll overpower me. Of course he will. Just change line. I'm literally looking to jam this and clear it aside as I do. So I jam and clear. Hold focus now. Just turn around. Jam and clear. Hold focus. Nothing else matters, because if he retracts, even if he retracts and I don't get it, just put the blade back. I should be here by now. Do you understand? The ideal would be I do this and then I follow it as he retracts. So I end up with underhook. Yeah? So I'm looking to go here, jam. And not only do I want to jam this, but if you're not strong here, as he is, this structure will collapse and he'll still stab me. So keep this structure strong. But to double your opportunity, create double the distance. So I want to stab hollow out, as I normally would, and then jam at the same time. Now I'm getting twice the distance. Yeah? So what I want you to do from here is that jam, jamming, working from there. If you punch, you miss the grip, you don't get the knee, extend the foot. You're right by the groin. Understand? But because you want realistic energy, there may be some protection. Where it's getting jammed up is this radial bone. Every time it's coming into the myalnus or elbow structure here, he's jamming that shit up. And for years we used to just do it and persevere with it. We used to think we were puffs if we put on protection. And that's till I jammed up in my brachial nerve. Then I realised it's intelligent to use protection, because the kind of intensity that somebody's going to stab you with will be a lot harder and higher than you're employing right now. All you're learning is the dynamic to stop the stab, stop the stab, stop the stab. The reality is, when he throws it, just give me free. He'll do it like his life depends on it, and mine does too. Do you understand? And it'll be much more like, that's why he needs that, or I'll break his shit. And not only that, he'll probably break my shit. So you want forearm protection. I'm battered and old now. I don't fucking have any senses there anymore to feel it to complain. But I would recommend that you take it to this level and you both wear forearm protection so that you don't get jammed up. Does that make sense? But right now you're not going at that intensity, and you're just going from here, boom, 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 to get a feel of what it feels like to stop it. Yes? Wrap the arm. Right, wrap it. So look how you're wrapping it. So we wrapped it here. So pitch it. Turn right round both of you. Right, now hit him with a slash. Slash. Wrap the arm. See how he's wrapping the arm here? This is called an overhook. He's wrapping over. Because of the trajectory of the stab and the height and length difference, lever length difference for both of them, when he jams this, it's not practical to overhook it. So he has to underhook it. So an underhook looks like he jams it and underneath. And he kind of gets it, it's usually more here. Yeah. If there was clothing and a sleeve, you've got something to attach to. But you've momentarily got it here, right? The other hand should be here, striking into the neck. This is where it should be. And it's from here that you would walk immediately, violently through him. It would actually take place somewhere in the middle of your wrapping. So you're looking at jamming this, and as it comes back, you're looking to follow it in. You may or may not get it. If he goes boom and pulls it out straight away, you don't get shit. But as long as it's clear of this quadrant of my body, even when he retracts it, I'm not staying here so he can use it again. By the time he's retracted, I'm already here. You understand? So I'm looking to jam it, boom, wrap it on the way in as I walk violently through. Now as soon as I get him up, I'm just going to punish him, take him down to the ground and finish it. But the bit I want you to isolate is the overhook wrap. So you're going to get to that wrap position. Good. Right. Then just from there, get as much grip of yourself as you can. I just want you to pull it out. And I want you to just go with him until he gets it. Right, 15 seconds, I want you to hold it for him. If he pulls it out, he pulls it out. I just want you to feel what it feels like if you wrap it to hold on to it. Yeah? Switch it over. So he's going to jam the line. Just jam it, hold it, and wrap the arm. So there's no need at the moment. So understand, you're not going to grab somebody's arm who's just tried to stab you. And you're not going to fucking just stand there holding on to him, are you? Because eventually you put it free and they stab you. You're not giving him a good talking to. You're looking to put him in the fucking hospital immediately, as quickly as you can. So I will only be holding momentarily whilst attacking. Does that make sense? Yeah. But I believe that you should shore up and make good every single part of something you do. So you want to be able to fend good, you want to be able to wrap good, and you want to be able to walk violently through good. Hence the reason we are isolating each part. Do you see? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Then we'll put it together in context. So it's from here to the see? Here we go, 15 seconds, don't let him pull it out. Go. If he does pull it out, reset. In this case, because he pulled it out, he branched. So what he actually did was pull him to the ground, which was useful. The reason that it's difficult to do it is because it's hot. And we're slippery, some more than others, right? But with clothing would be the ideal. But I just want you to have a little isometric feel of pulling it out. If you feel it's easy to pull it out on your partner, then don't just pull it out, but give him pressure. So he gives you more pressure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I want to practice the isometric part of this hook, yes? Can we do that?
Yeah, 15 seconds. It's hot, it just slips straight out. But bear in mind, I'm not looking to hold him here, okay? But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to stab, and as he retracts, I pull it in and take the back of the arm, okay? With this hand, I will grab his t-shirt or grab his head. Bear in mind, the more on the head, the better, okay? But just grab. He's going to pull, and follow him. Okay, you can see it's so much better if I'm higher up, okay? So take this position first. Again, this position.
So you all lasted 15 seconds and held on and he didn't pull it out. You were all trying. That's good. That's the feel I want you to get, because what that required of you was the energy to clinch down tight, right? Did you feel it? You felt you really needed to hold it, didn't you? That's the only thing I want to introduce you to, is that feeling. Because otherwise you'll just wrap it and it'll be lip spaghetti. So understand, the blood will leave the extremities. Your legs and your arms will be shaking because you're full of adrenaline, which means you're not squeezing as hard as you think you are. Do you understand? So it's important that you neurologically feel what it feels like to hold on to somebody's arm who's trying to pull it out. The reality is you're not staying there. Literally, as soon as I've wrapped it, I've already hit you with the knee. And I'm still attacking now. So I just want you to shore both parts of that up and make all of it good for the end product. Does that make sense?
We might wrap here above the elbow. This is really easy when we start like this, okay? It's a lot more difficult to get that when he's standing here, okay? So what we're going to do now is he's going to stab, I'm going to wrap, and then all his job is to pull out, okay?
Before you do that, it's a lot more difficult for him to achieve that position here than it is if he gives him the position. Well, that's fucking obvious because he's just about to stab him. So he has to earn this. And to earn it, he's got to not get stabbed, clear the line, and then capture it before he pulls it free totally. That, a lot can go wrong. So you may or may not wrap the arm. Understand what the crucial part is. I'm changing or clearing the line of assault. So the line of assault is here. I need to fend with the backs of my arms and jam the line of assault, or clear the line of assault. And in that immediate moment, I am going to counter. The most viable tool I've got to the most viable target is this. So even if I don't do nothing with this arm, I never got to wrap it anyway because he's pulled it back. The most crucial thing is that I jam and clear the line. Now I can walk violently. Do you understand? What would be ideal would be as I do that, wrap the arm. That would be ideal. Because now I can put as many knees in as I want from here, and take them down, and then I can finish with my feet. Yeah. Most important thing, clear the line. So seizing the limb, like he said, is easy. I'm going to give you it. You've got to earn it. Yeah.
Hold it while he tries to pull. So we're doing the same drill, but now I have to earn it. You understand that? Okay, so all I'm going to do is as he stabs, I'm coming here, then he's going to try and pull. And we're just going to stay there for a second. So all we're doing is the same drill, but we're putting in the entry. Okay, so here. Here, that's it. Okay, bearing in mind at this point now, while he's trying to pull it out, I would be doing something else. If he loses it, just create distance. If he pulls away, he pulls, you create that distance. Okay?
Or if you can't immediately escape, that's when you take this structure again. Now you've got to enter again.
You understand the drill?
Yeah.
Stab and then hold it. I'm looking to stab, pull it out, stab him again and again.
So I understand what that looks like. What that looks like is, he wants to stab me, grab me and stab me. That's what he's going to do. If I don't stop this immediately, I'm eating one. There's a good chance you're going to eat one anyway. So in order for you to stop that first one, it's a side strike followed by a stimulus that's coming straight back and attacking. And inside of that, I'm clearing this here, and as he retracts, I'm wrapping it. I'm walking forward with that knee, which puts his pelvis in his throat. That's that is the disarm. Do you understand?
Keep this when you snatch, this better. Okay? Pull him out. Okay? But if you lose it, don't worry about it. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to come. Stand up to it. Don't take this off to do this to snatch him.
Because then this is free. And it's going so much in. Yeah?
So you've got to learn to snatch from this position. Here. Okay?
So the stimulus to the snatch, you want this pike in the hips. What's going to create pike in the hips? Yeah. The fucking knees to the bollocks, of course. But if your pike's too far because he doesn't want to get a knee, extend your foot. So you just take out the low line and break his base. Then accelerate him to the floor. Right? So you might end up with the energy where you super-wrap this and his pike's so far that this knee's shallow. In which case, bring this right up and under as you force this down. Yeah, I'm doing a leverage deal. I'm pulling in this way as I'm kicking out the base. Yeah, taking out the structure from below. Yeah, so you bend. We're going to go from bend.
We'll do the whole thing.
Yeah. Bend, wrap, counter. Okay? So what you'll see from here, get quick. Because we are working in the gym, we have built the model with compliancy. We are learning. Then of course this will be functional, it will work. I know exactly when he's going to stab. Stress factors low, training weapons soft. The whole thing here is for the purpose of learning. Understand the real dynamic where that might need to be applied will be totally opposite kind of environment. You will have no expectation that you are just about to get stabbed. Maybe you see a flashing light, or maybe you don't. And all of a sudden it's coming at you while you're trying to orientate, fuck, I'm in a problem. You will be flooded with adrenaline. You will be almost to the point where you can't function. So once you've learned the dynamic with compliancy as we're doing here, the next part of this, which will be continued next week, will be the part where you start fucking amping up the pressure. You know, and you can work it right to the point where you're using a red mark pen and a white t-shirt. There's no fucking hiding place. Did you get stabbed or not? You want to take it to the point where the simulation of the exercise creates stress. And that would be 5%, if that, of what the real event would be like. But you've got to start somewhere. And where you start is by learning to become competent enough to clear the mat and act. You want to be able to do that, you want to rep. So of course when he's throwing it at him, he knows it's coming down. Yeah, and again, I know it's coming down. The truth is, you won't know the now, will you? It will just be far forward and you'll be here. Good chance you've eaten one already. No guarantees. No? What I'm saying to you is, if you can, in the moment, recollect that there's this structure coming at you, this will stop it. And if you can clear the line and retaliate immediately to the point where you're now on the counter offensive, you get the best chance of stopping this thread. From there you would run to an exit, place of safety. And you would self-medical triage to check yourself because you've probably been stabbed. And then if necessary, get medical attention. Do you understand? Yep. So the dynamic of where all this belongs will be very frightening and very real. That's why I'm breaking the structure down for you with compliancy until we put it back all together and fuck compliancy off. And now you see if it works or not. Do you understand? That's where we're going. But finish up with this. Give good test. Again, chubby. Then bend the line. That's something.
Move out that way a bit. Move out
Don't
that way.
make it predictable now. Break that rhythm up. Just try and catch him. Hands in, down, move, ready. Right, reach it over. Let's sit forces reciprocal.